Okay, so I have here this shape. It resembles an eye with arrows spinning indicating mode switching for a course. As a teacher, your permissions are set. As a teacher, I create assignments, announcements, tests, and content like images, videos, and files. I see these, but not how students will. It's crucial to preview tests to see student view. You must preview as a student. Your role is as a teacher, so your permissions within the course are as a teacher. Now, as a teacher, I'm creating assignments, setting up course announcements, and creating tests. And I'm diving into the content to create images, videos, and files. I can see all these things in front of me, but I don't know how the student will see them. So when you create anything, especially tests, you must preview the test and see how the questions actually appear to the student. You need to do something called previewing, where you enter this work in the course as if you were a student, but from the student mode's perspective. You must, when you create anything, especially tests, make sure to view the test and open it to see how the questions actually appear to the student. So you need to do something called previewing, where you enter this work in the course as if you were a student, but from the student mode's perspective. So what do? You go here to access the student preview, but from the other side of the student mode. So what do? You go here to access the student preview. We'll click on it like this. You'll notice what it did. It switched me to a completely different mode, to a completely different form. What is his name? Student status. This situation, it displays the announcements and content. Course management at the bottom is missing. Only course list elements are shown on the right. Course management is missing. Why? It's not in the student's role to manage the course. They see only allowed elements. They can enter, interact, take tests, and complete assignments without issues. I entered, everything is fine. For example, see this announcement in student preview. To end preview, what do? Click end preview to return to teacher state, enter as teacher, click preview, say continue to return to teacher state. Now, in course announcements, I can hide them. Do you see the elements accessible to the student are the ones they can access in the course? For example, see this announcement in preview. To end preview, what do? Click end preview. Then return to teacher mode. Enter as teacher, click preview, say continue to return. Now in announcements, I can hide them. See? Hiding announcements, content, and classes. Now 3 hides. See? Remember, midterm, final, and content have no content. And then I return to my normal state as a teacher. So as a teacher, I click on the preview. And then I say continue to take me back to my original state as a teacher. Now I'm in the course announcements. I'm going to come here and hide them. Do you see? I'm going to hide the course announcements, and I'm going to hide the course content, and I'm going to hide the virtual classes. So now I've done 3 hides. Do you see? 3 hides. Also, keep in mind that these 3, which are the midterm test, the final exam, and the course content for the semester, what do they have? Do you see? They don't have any content inside them. I mean, if I go into the midterm test, you'll think that there's no empty content here so far. I'm going to hide the course announcements, and I'm going to hide the course content, and I'm going to hide the virtual classes. So now I've done 3 hides. Do you see? 3 hides. Also, keep in mind that these 3, which are the midterm test, the final exam, and the course content for the semester, what do they have? Do you see? They don't have any content inside them. So if I go into the midterm test, you might think that there's no empty content here so far. These 3 are also with the student. I didn't hide them, meaning I didn't come here and hide them, no. But they won't show up for the student either. Why? Because any area with empty content doesn't appear to the student at all. It has to be actual content inside for it to be visible to the student. So right now, if I go ahead and do the preview, you can see we have 3 items here, and there are 3 more below. If you all could also focus on this part with me, let's do a preview like this. Let's take a look together. Where are the virtual classrooms? Where are the announcements? The virtual classrooms aren't there, the announcements aren't there, and the content is also not here. The content we were working on here above is not available. If we scroll down, where are the tests I created? The semester work tests are not there. Why? Any empty content area won't show up for the student. This is important to remember. What did I gain from hiding things? When I preview, do items appear for the student? I might do something and find it hasn't been applied. Why? No significant content area will be visible to the student. This is also important to remember. What did I gain from hiding things? When I preview, do items appear for the student? I might do something and find it hasn't been applied. I need to be careful because when I hid something, I thought it wouldn't show for the student. Therefore, I must preview as a student to ensure it doesn't appear. Assuming it won't show might lead to the student seeing seeing something unintended. We need to pay attention to the student preview feature because it's crucial. After that, finish the preview and return to the teacher's view. So I have to be careful because when I did that hiding, I thought in my mind that this thing wouldn't show up for the student or that I didn't want it to show. Therefore, I must preview as a student to make sure it doesn't appear. If I just assume that I've done it and that it won't show for the student, it might actually show up, and the student could see something I don't want them to know right now. In this case, we must run a little bit in the student preview part because it is an important part. After that, you will finish the preview and then follow up to return to the page where you are on the subject teacher status or in the teacher's view of the subject. Okay? As for the part about the elements, I just want to go back to you to see your interaction with me. Is there any part that is not clear to you? Are there any questions? I will just make sure that you are with me and following up with me. I might be talking and my voice isn't coming through or something might not be clear, so I'm just checking in with you. All right, Dr. Abu Sari, everything's good. Dr. Eman, is everything fine? No questions. All right, thank God. So this part is clear, right? Thank you all very much. Now let's take a look together. Let's do the reveal. To see its benefits, I'd like to address assignments. Students send assignments on Blackboard. Where to find them? Scroll down away from the course menu to find course management. Training tomorrow on course reports and the grade center. There's a session tomorrow on this topic, but I want to clarify for you. Now let's quickly address a question about assignments. Sometimes students send me their assignments on Blackboard. Where can you find them? Specifically for this part about assignments, if you scroll down a bit, you'll find something called course management. We're going to step away from the course menu for a moment, but we'll come back to it. You'll find something called the Grade Center. God willing, we're supposed to have training tomorrow about the reports related to the course and the Grade Center. So there's a complete session tomorrow on this topic, but I just want to clarify for you that in course management, you'll find something called the Grade Center. When you enter the Grade Center, any assignments, keep in mind, any assignments, tasks, tests, and even discussion forums, anything that you've assigned a grade to will be there. So let's step away from the course menu for a bit, but we'll come back to it later. You'll find something called course management, and God willing, we are supposed to have training tomorrow about the reports related to the course and the grade center. There will be a complete session tomorrow on this topic, but I just want to clarify for you. In the course management, you'll find something called the grade center. When you enter the grade center, any assignments, keep in mind, any assignments, tasks, tests, and even discussion forums, anything that you've assigned a grade to will have a column created for it. This column will be present here in the grade center. As you can see, this is the grade center. In short, the grade center consists of a series of columns, and the columns you see here contain the information. I placed it so that it has a grade assigned to it, and it will create a column for it. This column will be present here in the grade center. As you can see, this is the grade center. In short, the grade center consists of a series of columns, and the columns you see here contain this is the student data column. First name is the student's first name, and last name is the student's last name. I also have the university ID, as you can see, the university ID and the username for the student. So what do we have? We have the student data columns. But find the other columns. If you scroll down, you'll see a scroll bar in the color you see, and you can move it left and right since there are many columns. So find any column, like I created an assignment named assignment 432. So find the assignment you created or the test you created in the grade center, and it's all in a column. The grade appears like this. You see this is a practice test. This student got 10 points. This student got 0 points. Here 1 point, here 2 points. But assignments are tasks or research papers. The student has to upload a specific file. I created a research paper. This student submitted. The mark indicates no attempt, but the orange mark means in grading. So you'll find the assignment you created in the grade center. The grade appears showing this is a practice test, and this student got 10 points. Others got 0, 1, or 2 points. But assignments are in the form of a task or a research paper. A student submitted a paper. The mark indicates no attempt, but the orange mark means in grading or needing grading. You need to open the attempt and select View Grading Details. Assignments can be in the form of a task or a research paper, for example, and the student has to upload a specific file. I created a research paper, and this student submitted it, while the other students didn't submit anything. The mark indicates that there was no attempt, but the orange mark means that the student submitted an attempt, and they call it ingrading or needing grading. Or you need to grade. What does that mean? It means you as a teacher need to go into the attempt, open it up, and say, view grading details. You'll go into the attempt, and it will just take a few seconds to open up for you. And you'll find something here called view attempt.